Hello, everyone. Welcome to Varese, Italy. Day number 2 here on week number 3. The free dance coming up in just a few moments. I'm Ted Barton along with Mark Hanratty. What can we expect today, Mark? It's the medal event of the day.
Indeed. And in the rhythm dance, Jasmine Robertson and Chase Roner from the United States of America absolutely smashed out of the park, leading by a comfortable margin, and they will be hoping to take a title and potentially secure a ticket to the Junior Grand Prix final. But whilst we've been here watching the ice dance event, we've seen so many Italian ice dance coaches, and they'll be delighted to see Arianna Soldati and Nicholas Tagliabue succeeding in an unexpected result, having never competed in a Junior Grand Prix. They're currently lying in second place with eyes on the gold as well.
Well, it's not only medals at stake here, it's points for the Junior Grand Prix final. 20 teams from 17 nations. The free dance starts right now. Welcome back, everyone, to Varese, Italy, as we fly over as the sun sets. The racetrack right outside the A5 Arena here in Varese. It's been a good day of competition so far, Mark. I'm Ted Barton along with Mark Hanratty as we move into the free dance event, the medal event. You'll be doing the interview of the champions, of course, and looking forward to really 3 hours of entertainment here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can, as we see the judges lining up rinkside, we can look forward to seeing some complete stark contrasts to the rhythm dance. So on the technical panel there, we see as well some of the judges. But in the rhythm dance this year, the couples had to perform to music from the 1990s with high energy, uplifting energy. And I think that we have sensed in the first 2 assignments of the Junior Grand Prix, as we look at the start order, the contrast then with the free dance selections from the teams. So there tends to be a bit more intensity and a bit more passion.
Well, and what's cool about this is kind of like a variety show. You know, you're getting a little bit of everything, whether it's classic or whether it's a musical or whether it's a dramatic piece or whatever. It's kind of fun that way.
Oh, absolutely. And really keen to see the performances. And indeed, as we saw some of the practices earlier today, there's certainly, in my mind, some skaters that have found themselves in lower groups based on weak skates within the rhythm dance. So it could certainly be the case that we will see some surprisingly brilliant performances earlier on. Sorry, I just had some pasta.
No, it's because we don't have time to eat. We just got the food. We just wolfed it down part way, and now we are trying to talk. Okay, well done, well done, Mark.
Sorry, oh dear. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, so we have some questions, so you can have your pasta between the questions, but it may not relate to me answering it.
Oh dear. So we have indeed had some questions, and for that we're very, very grateful.
Yeah, thank you. The great questions we have coming in. Terrific.
And we really appreciate it. And so many of these questions which we will try to get through over the course of the event with the 4 warm-up groups in this ice dance competition. One of them, which is wonderful to hear, comes from Andre Karandiuk, who will be competing in the event next week for Canada with his sister.
Canadian,
so shout out and hope that they have wonderful final few training sessions before they head to Bangkok to compete next week, and safe travels to you guys. Andre asked the question, in our opinion, what makes the difference between a good ice dance team and a great one? And I think that
it's almost the same thing as it does in Paris too. Oh, okay, go ahead, go. You go.
I think I think it has to be said that quality of fundamental basic skating skills absolutely is a prerequisite to me respecting a dance team. They're teams that I will remember have character and originality and creativity to them, but for us to truly not just respect them, but to truly remember a team or give us the gravitas to remember them, they have to have a foundation of supreme quality basic stroking.
Okay, so I'm going to go, yes. I'm going to go, obviously, you need to be able to have the highest level of skating. So that's a gimme for me.
Yeah.
Next is, if you ever listen to a person read you a book or read a story, right, and it's all monotone, versus someone who reads you a story and you see a picture every time they say a sentence because they explain it with such articulation of their voice and undulation, everything that goes into a great storyteller. So move it forward onto the ice here. So great skating skills, it's a gimme, you got to have that. And a great program and a great piece of music, but you've got to have the 2 people that understand, if they were sitting in the audience, what would they need to see to move them? Now they are the ones that are doing the moving. So it's an understanding. And those are the great choreographers that pull it out of the soul of the person, get them to understand what the story is or what the piece is all about. And then the skater's going, I got it. The light turns on, and they're able to do it. That's the difference. There's a lot of great teams out there in Paris and Paris and dance. Great skating teams, great technical skills, but magic only strikes so often, and that magic is the relationship between the two people and the music towards the audience.
Yeah, and I think if we think of, as we watch this ice dance competition, you have to then think of the greats that have stood out, and to me that would go to Jane Torval and Christopher Dean,
yeah.
and then Virtue and Moyer,
Yeah,
of course,
absolutely.
and then the reigning Olympic champions Gabrielle and Guillaume. And I think of all those. Sorry,
No,
I was just going to say that of all those teams, and there are so many others that I could mention. There are so many other teams that I remember, but those to me are some of the greatest of great, if you're to rank them. And the connection between those three different teams is pretty special.
and that magic isn't something that's necessarily taught. Platforms are provided to explore. Great choreographers talk to the person, find out who the person is, how they think, what emotes, what moves them, all that type of thing, and then begins to pull that out into understanding. So that, for this young man who's asked the question, which is a great question, it's that magic, but that comes with maturity and time and experience. And it's not easy to do. I mean, it's something that will come in time. So, hopefully answer your question.
Yeah. I could go on for hours, but I'll ask another question.
No, I was going on for hours. Good thing you shut me up there, right?
So many questions. It's which of them to pick, and I'm so appreciative of them. This is a good one. Is boot polishing and clean laces not a thing anymore? I see too many dirty boots. Now, Ted,
Yes.
thoughts? Because I competed laterally as an ice dancer, and generally, ice dance can be the more pernickety in regards to the turnout and aesthetic of the skater. There is, ice dancers tend to be more inclined to wear makeup, more like stage makeup. They tend to be more inclined to have extremes of costume.
Yeah, not tend to. They do.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. And clean boots is a thing, and I think that I think it's nice to see when somebody polishes their boots. Same as I like to see when my children have polished school shoes.
True.
It's not a prerequisite, but
no,
I like it.
And no points for it. But that's okay. We have to stop because we are going now into group number one. I better get ready here. Our first team represents Poland, 14-year-old Elizaveta Lizova and 17-year-old Janiki. This is their first Junior Grand Prix event, Mark.
This team, one of the teams that have taken part in some of the International Skating Union ice dance seminars, so they've had experiences alongside some of the competitors, but this a whole new level of experience by competing at Junior Grand Prix. Elizaveta Lisova and Jakub Janicki representing Poland. And this team, there's lots to talk about regarding the technique and the development of the team moving forward. But for me, what was so beautiful to see was a passion and some intensity to their movement. And in the two final choreographic elements, of which all the junior teams must perform, two choreographic elements, there was a real sense of passion. Now, this experienced music by the wondrous Ludovico Einaudi is a piece that's so used and common, but you could see two young people tapping into their passion for it.
I thought there was a couple parts of this program that they looked much stronger, more mature, more together. There were certain parts that go, wow, this is a different looking team. And then, you would get back to obviously some of the more challenging parts of the program. But good choice of music, I think, for this team.
Yes, and
Nice.
that's cool. Transitional. As we look then back through the elements, then we can assess then where this team has to devote their time moving forward. Just seeing the little breaks in the rotation there, so that has an impact on the technical element score for Elizaveta and Jakub. But then moving forward, it's just those crossovers, those elementary transitional steps, being able to try to increase the glide. He's not quite low enough in the position in that stationary lift for the level that's attained. Not far off, not a million miles away. As we look at the difficult entry into the rotational lift, working through 6 rotations, and their change of pose for feature. And here, the likes of those back crossovers, just working on the tactility of the blade as it leaves the ice. But here, love this. Look at Elizaveta's face there. She's invested in the storytelling and the passion that the music requires. And I thought, well done on these catches, Ted. I thought the choreo lift to conclude the program, you can see there in Jakub, he was invested there in the kind of romantic finish to the program, or perhaps he just had a kind of happy face knowing that run through was clean and done. This was gorgeous. Look at her arm movement there and neckline. Lovely.
There you go.
Yeah, kudos to Elizaveta and Jakub and coach Justyna Plutowska. Now moving forward, it's just back to basics. It says the question was posed to us in the warm-up, what makes a great dance team? It has to be built on a foundation of just supreme quality of stroking. And so those very basics, like the pianist that plays, or any musician plays their scales.
And I think that's for good and great teams. They have to have that. There's a lot of great teams. Well, maybe a lot. There's a number of great teams, but then what makes the greatest?
Yeah.
Something that's a little bit more than that. And,
Actually, Elizaveta and Jakub have some of those great qualities that we saw in the expression. They have some of the finishing touches already to be tapped into. For them, it's just, I think they have the icing on the cake already. They just need to work on the sponge.
It takes a long time, particularly with a partnership. It does, because you're dealing with two individuals who are growing at the same time, all sorts of things that come with life, and working together on the ice to learn the skills and to become skating as one and to create a little bit of magic. And how do you define magic? It's individual.
Yeah.
They will create their own magic, but they don't know what that is until they go through those 10 years.
Yeah. And I mean, as we referenced the Olympic Games, those contending for medals will all have been together for a decade. So
yeah, totally.
But what's more likely to have Elizaveta and Jakub stay together for that duration is the fact that they look happy in one another's company, smiling and kissing, crying.
That's the key thing, is the relationship that the two people have. That when you take a look at Scott and Tessa, and they have separate lives now, but they were a unit that supported each other for all that time.
Respected each other too.
Respected each other, exactly. So we're just looking for the scores here coming up for the free dance. There's a 54.69. And, of course, they are the first team out with a total competition score of 87.40.
Everybody's looking at each other as to say, well, I think maybe they were hoping for more.
Yeah. Well, here is a team that wears the Union Jack, the great the British flag. Annabelle Mann and Jack Hammond, 16 and 17 years of age. They find themselves in 19th spot after the rhythm dance, Mark.
And Jack said that they were really excited to have their first Junior Grand Prix and hoping to learn and enjoy the experience of this amazing event.
Coming home, my hand. I wanna contact the living. Not sure I understand. this role I've been given. I just wanna feel real love, feel the life ever after. There's a hole in my soul, you can see it in my face. It's a real big place. Come and hold my hand.
Me with the floor show, kicking with your torso. Boys getting high and the girls even more so. Wave your hands if you're not with a man. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. I got, you got, we got everybody. I got the gift, gonna stick it in the goal. It's time to move your body. I don't wanna rock, DJ, but you're making me feel so nice. When's it gonna stop? DJ, 'cause you're keeping me up all night. Does an angel contemplate my fate? 'Cause I've been told that salvation lets their wings unfold. So when I'm lying in my bed, thoughts running through my head, and I feel that love is dead, I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection, love and affection. Well, I'm right on round, down the waterfall, wherever it may take me. I know that life won't break me. When I come to call, she won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead.
Annabelle Mann and Jack Hammond share a hug at the conclusion of their free dance, and I'm pretty sure the inspiration for this will have come from the Better Man film. It's such a brilliant film. And so I'm engaged with it, having loved the film and the music choice, and I think you could sense Annabelle and Jack utterly connected with the music too. And this couple, like the Polish team who have already performed, showcasing so many great attributes for ice dance success: passionate, emotive, and as is the case with the first team, in this stage of the competition, just endless repetition of more quality skating as the mums of both Annabelle and Jack get their time to shine.
Well, that's cool.
Really cool. And you know, the mums do so much. They're doing so much because then they're having to console the team who were a little bit disappointed with the rhythm dance performance, while still obviously, you know, mindful that they too want to see success for their skaters, more because they wanted them to be happy at the end.
I think with the skills that this team has, they skated really well and passionate, you know?
Yes.
There's so much work to be done, but I thought, wow, they're pushing their limits. They're not backing off. They're not timid. They're not afraid or nervous. They're going for it.
Yeah. Exemplified by moments like that. And you could see the commitment energetically. It's just then transferring that energy into increasing body awareness. So that wonderful passion that they're giving it, absolutely giving it, then doing it with a little bit more, you know, core stability in their core, and then a bit more refinement of free legs. And then these component scores will just continue to go upward. But I love that. The little moment there from Jack on the outside mohawk, just an expression upward. And here, as we look at the great outside edge on the spread eagle, just the refinement of this landing position, hitting line, making picture moments. As we see choreo slide, their choice of choreographic element to finish the program. And Lloyd Jones joins them in the kiss and cry. And
They look pretty happy with their feeling of the performance. You know, they gave it all. Scores will matter to them to some degree, but it's the 61.50. That's first in the free dance, and total competition score of 99.55.
yay.
Yeah. Experience gained, and they don't know it yet, and that'll come in time, knowing that these types of experiences have led them on a pathway, but it's a long pathway. Our next team represents Ukraine, 18-year-old Miroslava Kachenko and 19-year-old Ricardo Peshka, 13th last year in Gdansk.
Yeah, and this team were ruled out of their first Junior Grand Prix assignment through injury, struggled through the rhythm dance, and even in the practice this morning had some mistakes, but you can see that start position showcases quality in their potential. Miroslava Kachenko and Ricardo Pesca. For me, Ted, this team
What was that word?
says it's
Sorry.
it's my brain space trying to justify what has just happened, because Miroslava and Ricardo showcase much better body awareness. Their quality and potential looks much more refined than anything that we have seen thus far. I know that they were injured, which pulled them out of Riga. I know that this morning in practice they had a nasty fall there too. So they're just not competition ready as they would like to be. Their score will be no reflection of where they are at. However, the body awareness, classy. Like here, look at the way she holds herself. Like, so much work has gone in just to be able to stand like that. As too from Ricardo, as he does the backbend there, the way in which they take the right forward outside edge entry into the twizzles, that showcasing more skating skill, but just not as together as they would like.
Yeah.
Just mismatched and bobbling a little bit here. Back inside counter, into the forward inside rocker, and then the change of edge back three twizzle. That part of their 1 foot turns, unfortunately, their step sequence, such a valuable element, had the fall to start, and might just see it here. Outside closed mohawk.
Caught the boards.
And I suspect that's just because the team isn't as ready, as prepared as they would like. As we look at the curve lift, which is great. And here, the way in which Ricardo holds his leg on the 1 foot exit, it's just showcasing awareness of body alignment that we haven't seen thus far in the competition.
Yeah, it's so, the start to the season's been really rough for them, but you have to go through that because they've had the injury and they've been off, and this is the way they get back on track. But these competitions are important. They'd like to make the final, et cetera, but the reality is this is I don't mean it doesn't mean anything, but they've got their national championships, they've got other competitions coming up, and Junior Worlds or whatever the case may be. So
And
they're a little bit late getting going, but they're going.
yeah, and they're joined by Mattea Dalla Torre, part of the great work done by Matteo Zani, Barbara Ritsnikova, and Katarina Muller. So many great coaches in their corner, and so many other brilliant teams that can help them to hopefully be inspired to move on from this and not dwell in it. They'll return to a training camp where there's not really any time to dwell. There's just so many brilliant skaters around them that it's just time to crack on and move on.
Yeah. Well, we've all been through that, bad start to a season, or things just aren't in line, but it is what it is, and you have to go through it, and you have to find a way, and this will make it better, but you don't know it at the time.
Yeah, and when you've got coaches that are producing, junior world champions not too long ago, we've talked a lot about autonomy, and Miroslava and Ricardo have to take autonomy over what's happened here, but to some extent they can relax knowing we've got staff that know what to do with this. That they're comforted and cushioned by that, as
got to
Mattea just
talk
gives that
together,
support.
listen together, work together. 52.60, that is third in the free dance with a 92.06, and that'll put this team currently into second place at this stage of the event. Our next team represents Sweden, 20-year-old Charlotte Chung and 21-year-old Axel Mackenzie.
And it is Axel's 21st birthday today. Huge happy birthday to him. What a way to celebrate the rest of his life. He will forever remember his 21st birthday in Italy, representing his country. And now we hope that the celebrations continue with the best free dance performance that they've had.
Well, Mark, for me, this is a different team this day. I mean, they struggled a little bit in the rhythm dance, but this was a lot of fun.
Oh, so much fun, and everybody in the production office is enjoying and engaging. And when in Italy, why not skate to the Godfather track? And I'm so pleased that Axel has had a clean performance.
Yeah.
Charlotte was joking about, celebrating your 21st birthday, representing your country is great, in a different country, great. But having to do a full run through on your birthday, that's not so great.
Yeah,
so
but he's 21 years old, and that means
spring
something.
chicken.
That's good. Yeah, well, so are you. But let's take a look at some of the elements.
And whilst we acknowledge the brilliance of Axel celebrating his birthday today, I think we've got to appreciate Charlotte's performance skill as well.
Oh, wow. She was great.
Lit
Lit
oozes
up.
joy. Lit
Yeah.
up, yes.
She brought a spotlight into their performance for sure.
She's even smiling on a clockwise rotation twizzle, and nobody likes that, so kudos to her. Back outside bracket, the choice of their bracket entry edge within the 1 foot turns. That too, a hard choice. And you can see here, there in the slow-mo, the obvious difference in the section of the program based on the emotional expression that Charlotte's giving here, as opposed to where I think you'll see them in this choreo character step, choosing to take it over the long axis. Most often we see the choreo character step done across the short axis, but they're choosing to exploit more distance to perform more the sort of question-answer movement here from Charlotte then to Axel within the choreography of that. Actually, they're a good GOE on that element too, rightly so.
Yeah, and it's nice for the judges to recognize the difference between yesterday's performance and this performance.
Yeah, just looking at the component scores as well and seeing that the presentation for today's performance deemed to be quarter of a point higher, and their skating skills also deemed to be higher today as well, as Carol joins them in the kiss and cry. Now, the question is, how do you celebrate beyond that? What do you do on your 21st birthday when you just represented your country with a clean free dance?
You know what 21 means.
Not that an athlete would be doing anything.
No, I know. I'm not saying anything. I'm just not saying anything.
Moving on. 67.19 and first place.
There you go. 107.40. That was a great performance. Charlotte and Axel take over first place. Great
Where's
job.
the cake? I hope there's cake somewhere.
Well, how about a candle?
Cake and a candle.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll sing.
Okay, at the restaurant.
Okay.
No, the cake, not your singing. Okay, let's get that right. Our next team represents Hungary. It's a 13-year-old Aletta Lani and 17-year-old Huba Gallet, 16th after the rhythm dance.
And Aletta and Huba delighted to be in their first Junior Grand Prix, and Huba's Instagram quote is, "The beginning is always today." So hopefully this the beginning of great free dance performances internationally on the Junior Grand Prix stage for this couple. Hungary's Alitalani and Hubagalai, Prince of Persia, from the godfather to the princess of Persia, I should say. And I so appreciated the commitment to the composition, and it's just wonderful to see concepts being given life. And you could see that so evidently from the way in which they sustained so many of the movements throughout that. I thought the program was intricate, the transitions were difficult, the holds were good too. The mistake on the twizzles did spell a little bit of a dip in the intentionality of it, and it dropped a little bit, but brought back, I think.
Yeah, and I think trying to carry that character through, I mentioned that off air about holding their hands in a certain angle, which isn't easy to do because it's not that, yeah, exactly. But while you're skating throughout that program, that wasn't easy. She hit it sometimes it, would dip a little bit, but.
And as with the rhythm dance, I feel like the couple has so many great potential qualities here. Spinning, and so not traveling across the ice and then panicking because of the distance between the team, perhaps. And so that's unfortunate. But I suppose, we talk about the single skaters seeing potential, even when falls or mistakes happen on their jumps. The mistakes here for Aletta will be frustrating, but they have so much potential. And you can see not in the slightest shy. And there was a good example of hairography. Just about there. What a wonderful example of hairography. Oh, and look how sharp she is. She nearly went a cropper there with the slide, and she engaged her core so brilliantly to make sure she didn't go down.
Did you say cropper?
Yeah, go a cropper.
What is it?
Like a whoopsie.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I got to have a dictionary with sitting around you. Jeez. Okay. All right.
Fun.
Now you're speechless. Okay, let's go.
So we have to give a shout out then again to the team, Francesco Fioretti, Nora Hoffman and Michael Zanazzini, who are working hard to generate next level and next generation of Hungarian ice dancers. And these two, I make a bold statement. If they got on well enough and they enjoy the journey long enough, I could see these guys as future Olympians.
Yeah, they can, you can see the energy and the love of it. What are you looking at?
The teddy bears have the coaches' names on it. Do you think that's then from the parents or somebody thanking them? Have they got their names? No, Dumbo looks like he's been around longer than the teddy bears.
Sorry to distract you. It was midway through a
Oh,
sentence.
so
We're
sorry.
talking about the stuffies here. I mean,
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, it's been a long day, so. Let's take a look at the score. 62.72 for Aletta Aduba. And that is second in the free program with a free dance with a 105.39 total competition score. That'll put them for the moment at the end of group number 1 into second place. I can see you pulling the phone out.
Yep.
Getting the questions ready, but there's some really good questions. Now remember, keep it short. The answers.
It's not something I'm particularly good at, though.
No, you're not. You're in a -1. No, -4. Really.
-4. I think I fell over on the element there. Okay. Wow, there's some really wonderful questions coming in. I didn't answer this question, I think, in the last warm-up, so I'll tackle this
here
quickly.
we
No,
go.
it's an okay one.
Okay.
How do I track down all of the athletes, especially if they don't have Instagram? Do I run after them in the rink for quotes?
No.
No, I do.
Not that I've seen, anyways.
No. I think that's actually, we're joking and we're getting a bit delirious here at the end of a long day, but actually it's an opportunity for me just to say how much I appreciate when the skaters do give us intel. So I'll try to contact all of the skaters or their coaches just for a quote, or if there is indeed anything that they want us to share about them, solely because we want to promote not just the sport, but also the people that are working so hard to represent the sport. So if there are ever opportunities for the skaters to give us information pertaining to what they're doing, we would be delighted and grateful to hear it. Ooh.
Yeah, and one of the things I did this year is I put out a questionnaire for the American team and the Canadian team. Wanted to do it for everyone, but we didn't have the resources to do that. With a whole mess of questions, and we're getting some insights into the most difficult moments of their career so far, and the greatest moments, and what they've learned so far in their early skating career. And it's amazing what they come back with. It's fantastic. So we're trying to reach out, but it is extremely time-consuming, and it's hard to reach everyone, and we can't get everyone. But
and I mean, I think
you do a great job.
Well, I think for the skaters, though, I think they don't get any more points by giving us some background information. Perhaps in an attempt to try and extract more from those that are listening, it's just perhaps a chance to give gratitude to the teams that help behind them. So any voice they have that they
and
want
also
to
the
share.
story is important because we're watching a skating competition, but this is people who have a story, and film and everything we watch on television is all storytelling.
Yeah.
It's all about life. So that's what we're trying to bring into this as well. Okay, next question.
Next question, thoughts on open gender partnerships. And we touched upon, I think, in Riga when we were on the first stage of the Junior Grand Prix series this year, the Finnish same gender partnership. Emily and, oh my goodness, Alex, I think, are the names of the women that are formed that partnership, and I know that they will go on to compete in Finnish domestic events. And I know in Canada that there are same
we
gender
had some in British Columbia,
partnerships.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's wonderful. A lot of people, you know,
I think
don't
it's-
know how it will evolve.
I think
nor
it's
do
early.
I.
I think it's early on, and I think that there's a lot of creativity. It's like having an empty canvas here, and so what do we want to draw? What who is going to come and create something unique and special and different on that? And that will take time for people to understand what it is and how to do it and how to explore it. And I think it's going to be a great addition to the sport and to the art. But it's not. This is something new, and it needs to be explored. And there has been exploration, and we've seen some really interesting things. But it'll grow in time.
And I mean, I'm not a huge visionary, but I recognize that it offers for many the opportunity to enter into a partnership. Solo dance is an ever blossoming and blooming aspect of ice dance, and it's getting its own international competitions now, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
But there is something, having been in partnerships, and I mean, I've spent all of my professional skating career skating with different women, and it's wonderful to join in a collaboration with another human and dance to music. It's wonderful. So then, if there are not as many of the opposite gender for you to partner, then great to have anybody to skate with. It doesn't, I mean, I'm all for it from whoever. I don't know how it will transpose into differing gender partnerships competing against same gender partnerships. That's not for me to quit. I don't
Let's
know
wait
how
and
that
see.
will- Yeah,
Let's wait and see.
yeah.
But it's been a good start.
So, moving on. Will there be any more live interviews with officials coming off a panel? Like Sean Rettstadt from the Ice Dance Technical Committee 1 year, where there was chance for us to chat to members. And I think actually we had Ingrid Valter.
Yeah, we did, yeah. I think there'll be more. I think we've got to get past the Olympic season. And then there's going to be a lot of new things that are happening over the next 4 years or so. They're all part of the 2030 vision. So the doors are going to open up, and we're going to, it's going to, I don't know. I don't have all the answers of what's going to happen. What I do know is they're looking to bring the audience closer to the people and to the sport, as we see
the Italian
Walter
guy.
with the hands moving on the boards.
But look, you've
know?
got Luca Lanotti,
Yeah.
world champion, Pasquale Carmalengo, Olympian, Walter
Yeah.
Rizzo, all these Italian ice dance.
Mark, did you notice we get
Influences.
distracted? We get distracted easily.
Yeah, I think I'm much worse than you, though.
Yeah, you are. You're way worse.
Sorry.
Anyways, look at the birdie.
You know what, though? The crew giving us the shots of that's a picture, that's a moment to
Yeah, that's
celebrate
great.
from Italian ice dance history.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't remember with the question, but anyways, we're over. I think we're
Time up.
ending up. Yeah, here we go. A moment of silence.
Compose ourselves,
Yeah.
reconnect with the job in hand.
Okay, group number 2 in the free dance, the first medal event here in Varese, week number 3 in the Junior Grand Prix. Our next team represents Israel, 20-year-old Maria Nakieva and 19-year-old Dmitry Kravchenko.
This team together for just such a short time, but already have learnt so much from their first Junior Grand Prix appearance 2 weeks ago in Riga, hoping to improve upon their free dance performance there with this performance now.
a dream. We are dreaming.
Race the moon, catch the wind, ride the night to the end, seize the day, stand up for the light. I want to spend my lifetime loving you. If that is all in life I ever do, I will want nothing else to see me through. If I can spend my lifetime loving you.
Maria Nikayeva and Dmitry Kravchenko representing Israel, laying down another committed performance. It's just gobsmacking to see what they have achieved in such a short space of time. And it looked to me like they were both united in their commitment to the Mask of Zorro interpretation. Both looked as the fellow Israeli skaters skating here in Varese cheer them on. Both looked to be engaged, happily engaged, with the interpretation of that passionate performance.
Yeah, you'll see moments in the replays where they're just, I don't know, enjoying it. And the music has such a positive type of happy feel to it. And I think they carried it most of the way through the program.
Yeah, it looks well suited to the team. Here, working through the 1 foot turn, so you must deliver a counter turn, a rocker turn, a bracket turn, and a twizzle. The entry edge can be of the skater's choice, and they don't have to do them all at the same time. But this team going for cleanliness, you can see that here. This is a good example of clean and clear for the stage.
Yeah.
Now the Group C. This is almost, I think I've seen like TikTok viral stuff of that transitional entry. It's so difficult to do, but when I've seen it done on TikTok, it's not done with blades at the bottom of the feet. The ice dancers showing how amazing we ice dancers are. Look at the energetic commitment here. And I thought Dimitri was lip syncing a little bit to further secure higher presentation scores as we see the choreo slide. Before this, the final choreographic element, the choreographic character step sequence. And I caught a little exhalation of his breath from Dimitri there. You know, tail end of the program, so hard to stay energetically committed when you're absolutely exhausted.
The music demands it.
Yeah, and they gave it. And as the season goes on, they'll be able to sharpen, crisp, and secure even more clarity through that. And that was probably the worst part of the whole program, was just trying to stick that end position.
Yeah. Hang on to it. Let's take a look at the free dance scores for Maria and Dimitri. A 72.43, that is first in the free dance. It's kind of like, oh, that's okay. 115.73 total competition score. That will put them currently, for the moment at least, into first place. There's a look at our next team representing Slovakia, Lucia Stefanova and Jacobo Bore. Both are 16 years old, 14th after the rhythm dance.
And they skating to the music from How to Train Your Dragon. Lucia Stepanovova and Jacopo Bueres representing Slovakia, and we were talking while the couple were performing about the difference that we're seeing in these teams from rhythm dance to free dance, and certainly Lucia and Jacopo looking so much stronger, their skating skills immeasurably more powerful and commanding and united in this, their free dance. The question for that, potentially for many of the skaters, they might make up their free dance earlier in the season to more of the requirements of the rhythm dance.
Yeah, some of them just look like a different team, a stronger, more stable team in the free dance than they did in the rhythm dance. And maybe it was just a bad night yesterday, I don't know, but they're certainly looking a lot stronger, many of the teams here tonight.
Yeah. And it just, you can see the good skating skill technique that they've been given, the unity of their body line and their movement as exemplified here where they work through the twizzles. Just a shame that Lucia had the bobble here on the right forward outside twizzle. She got 2 rotations done, so I suspect at best it will be a level 2, but technical panel will have to review. And here, choreographic slide, choosing to do a choreographic element relatively early in the program, and such a clean lined extension. There, forward outside rocker, covering eyes, showing flow, back outside counter, forward inside bracket, changing edge, and then into the twizzle to conclude their 1 foot turn section. Yeah.
Great arch.
Amazing arch, yeah. I wonder what kind of off-ice work they do to find those positions as we see combo lift. I think that's the first combo lift of the
It's the
event.
first one so far.
Skaters able to choose either 2 short lifts or 1 combination lift.
It was so cute at the end. It kind of went with the music almost.
Yeah.
That little hug, right?
And this team split their time between training in Bratislava with Coach Lucy and then in Milan with Luca. You've got Lucia, a Lucy, a Luca. It's a lot of L power for this team. Look at the way you can see the body awareness from Lucia, just in the way that they hold themselves. Yep.
It's a good team. It's you can see the potential. You can see the skill that they have currently, but much more to come, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think I believe we will see. I know that we'll see this team for many more years to come. They've explained that they've even holidayed together. They've had a decade worth of friendship. They've even holidayed together, and so they are already just at 16 years of age committed to one another in this partnership. And I think at this point in their skating career, they've got all the prerequisite goods to go on to have great success in this discipline.
Anxiously waiting for their scores, and technical panel had 5 elements to take a look at. They're not through that yet. They're still on the 1 foot.
Yeah, and the 1 foot turns, it was a great example of lots of ice coverage, so that would be reflected potentially in the grade of execution from the judges and in their skating skills, but only one of the turns must have been sufficiently clean for the panel to give them the level there. So a level 1 for both Lucia and Jacopo, and that generally tends to be the twizzle, which is the easiest of the 4 turns in that element to be called. And we just get a little exclamation mark on the choreo spinning movement, so it potentially didn't fulfill all of the criteria for that. Just check maybe if they've showcased enough rotation. As you see, again, Jacopo drawing blood. Almost, they say blood, sweat, and tears. Certainly,
You're really covering everything, aren't you?
Yeah.
The full report from the Kiss and Cry. Let's take a look at the freedance scores.
Oh, they've had to wait a while, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have. There it is. There's the spell. 68.18. That is second in the free dance. Total competition score of 112.89. Also, that'll put them overall for the moment into second place.
Lots of nodding heads.
Yeah, that's good. They're happy with that. They've got some really nice skills and bright future and the time to develop it. Our next team represents Italy. Martina Lavasa and Rafael Raymond Munilla. Both are 17. It's their first Junior Grand Prix season, Mark.
Yeah, coming into the free dance in 13th place following the rhythm dance. Less than half a point above those that have gone already, but close to those above them. Martina Lavazza and Rafael Raymond Munier representing those people there, the Italians that have come to support them. And great to see it. Interesting to see here the difference in the kind of stylization of this free dance. Not the same kind of theme that we have perhaps seen from others, but passionate Lara Fabian music they interpreted appropriately. And now we wait to see how the judges will interpret their scores. And interestingly, this team finding themselves in this position, but actually their program component scores would have had them higher in the rhythm dance. It was their technical score which found them in this position, so they theoretically will be expecting to move up based on their skating skills comparative to others. Brunild Bianchi and Walter Rizzo join them off the ice here. Setting the love story, the Adagio track, it's a wonderful piece of music. And here a look at the twizzles, level 4 assigned to both. And the skaters can have between 2 and 4 steps between the first and second twizzle, and they can connect, unlike the rhythm dance, to maintain that consistency of rotation, which they did through that, the Group C feature. To here's the choreographic assisted jumps, one of the options for the choreographic elements. And they have to do at least 3 in a row, cannot rotate more than 1 rotation, and they have to be off the ice for less than 3 seconds to have that called. As we look now to curve lift in at level 4, because Rafael in the difficult position, as too is Martina with that layback, and there the dismount, another level feature. That difficult entry, that feature into the rotational lift, which actually has an extended lift marker. I should have had that completed before the 8 seconds had gone on the clock, and they must have overstepped that. So
and how much they lose for that?
So 1 point deduction for that.
There, yeah. The freedance score 75.65 for Martina and Rafael, with a 120.75 total competition score as they take the lead. So you can hear the cheer in the background and some smiles and the kiss and cry. Here's a look at your top 5 on the leaderboard so far in this event. 2 teams to come in group number 2. And there is our next team representing Switzerland, 16-year-old Leonie Whitley and 18-year-old Timon David Sooner.
And from Adagio by Lara Fabian now to music from Leonard Bernstein, West Side Story, the track for Leonie and Timon. And already coming out the ice with speed, confidence and performance, trying to entice the judges into those high component scores as they assume their start position.
Entice, I like that. Here we go.
just kissed a girl named Maria, and suddenly I found how wonderful a sound can be. Maria, say it loud and there's music playing.
Leonie Woodley and Timo Davidsson representing Switzerland. And great to see that hug between the team, but Ted, I was so impressed by a couple of aspects in particular. The speed and efficiency of the difficult entries into the callable lift and the choreographic lift, that for one. And I also was really impressed by Timon in particular's performance ability. Both partners wonderful, but I felt, as a vast generalization, the men tend not to be as expressive, but Timon matching his partner Leonie.
8 elements, 6 are under review.
And I might try and see if I can multitask and have a little listen into what the assessments are. But
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Mark is just listening into the technical panel. Go ahead, Mark.
And the technical panel, I'll come back to you now, just listening in, it's so fascinating to hear because there's such, as you say, professionalism and clarity between the technical panel members just to assess whether or not the features were established. And as we look back at the twizzles now, there's just a little bit of a looking to see whether or not the features are sufficient to achieve the level for their, I think it was the, it's this point of contact, so it's whether or not she's sufficiently cantilevered away from his body to be considered in a difficult position. I think that, I'm guessing, before I came out, I'm guessing it's the 2 points of contact. So the features are clearly written out for the teams to see, and whether or not they've done enough for the panel to call that, we'll soon find out. And this team working with Claudia Abisha and Martin Scott-Nicky. And interestingly, Martin Scott-Nicky was involved with Isabelle and Paul Duchesne, who also skated to the West Side Story in 1992.
And who also had the color.
They had that color.
Because you just pulled that up on your phone.
I was saying purple for West Side Story. Oh, but 1992 Olympic silver medalists, Paul and Isabelle Duchesne, wore the same color, and they had one of the same coaches.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, good ideas don't age, do they?
Well,
West Side Story is still doing okay.
Well, if there weren't people like you around, everybody would think it was fresh, right?
Yes. I remember when I started skating, I remember thinking, oh, I'll just copy what Torval and Dean did. Everybody had forgotten what that was like, and I'll just copy them.
How'd that go?
Sadly, not so well.
Yeah. Jeez.
Well, fortunately, I learned better before I tried to copy.
Copy good technique on technical elements.
Exactly.
No problem. Leave the rest to be your own. You know,
exactly.
Figure it out.
Copy the knee bend, guys. Copy the pushes.
Yeah,
copy the
exactly.
edges. Don't copy mine. Copy like Guillaume Cizeron and Gabriela Papadakis.
Yeah.
Copy them.
I think it's a pretty good performance for this team. They look
Yeah.
pretty happy coming off the ice, and certainly lots of areas to work on. But I think a pretty good vehicle.
Yeah, and I actually think that their components are probably, I would say, the best. I believe the best skating skills, presentation, and composition on the whole from that which we've seen in the event thus far. But having just had a snippet of an insight into what the technical panel are thinking, they may struggle on the technical element score. So they'll be having to look back and assess the clarity of some of the features because that will be potentially what pulls them off the lead above those.
Which the report card allows you, really helps you to do, and look back at the video as well. So the thing with dance is there's such small details that the naked eye can't really see, and I mean our naked eye, not necessarily the technical panel, but so precise, so detailed, difficult to verify. 69.60 for Leonie and Timon, 115.10 total competition score. That'll put them for the moment into third place. There is a look at our final team in group number 2. Twins, 17-year-old twins, Claudia Amaro Letestu and Marco Amaro Letestu representing Portugal. They're 11th after the ribbon dance.
And the music, nada, and a color show.
Todo lo que yo sentí, todo lo que yo viví, de todo lo que presentía no me queda nada. El dolor que yo sufrí por todo lo que yo aprendí, de todo lo que yo te di ya no me queda nada. Yo te soy sincero, si es que mañana no le tengo miedo, pues soy mujer y llevo el dolor adentro. Soy mujer de lluvia, de sangre, en luna, de tierra, sal y mar. Yo por fin todo lo tenía y a ti todo te lo entregaba. Tú por fin me necesitabas y después no me tuviste en cuenta. Tú por mí nunca trabajabas. Me acerqué para ser la primera. Si tú a mí nunca me querías, yo por qué tengo que darte perlas. Tú por mí nunca trabajabas. Me acerqué para ser la primera. Si tú a mí nunca me querías, yo por qué tengo que darte perlas. Y yo también miraba, yo adivinaba todo pues bien, también me iba bien, todo lo imaginé. Yo aquí sembré las semillas y regué las que tú plantabas. Todo lo que yo sentí, todo lo que yo viví, de todo lo que perseguía, no ya me Yo te soy sincero y no le tengo miedo a la muerte. Si es que me quiere, aquí la espero de frente, sonriente el dolor. Lo llevo dentro, el dolor lo tengo presente. Soy mujer de sangre, luna de tierra, sal y dona sin pena.
Well, the first of 2 twin sibling pairings in this ice dance competition, Claudia Amaro Letestu and her brother Marco Amaro Letestu. And it's interesting, Ted, I had not heard this music before. It's always good to hear new music. I
Yeah.
love to have heard that. And I don't know the history of the music, the choice, the rationale of the music. They represent Portugal. I'm starting to try and figure why they've chosen this. But irrespective of why or the reason or what's brought them to this, I love the choreo character step at the end where there was some sort of storytelling and concept that they believed in that made me want to watch it again.
Yeah, it was a little bit different as well. I mean, from what the other teams are doing. So, yeah, the root of the concept and the music selection, where does it come from? Sometimes it's, let's be different.
Yeah. Here, just working through those 1 foot turns. Level 2 assigned to Claudia on that element, as we see the difficult entry. Gorgeous position there from her, and the change of pose now, sorry, into the rotational lift. So it's straight line lift and rotational lift. And that's a big value element. If it's level 4 for both, that's nearly 11 points for that. As we look, oh, here's that choreo character step. I don't know what that arm movement was or meant or the context behind it, but it was delivered with a conviction that engaged me and made me believe in it. I would say that Claudia and Marco currently, they don't have the same amount of flow and glide and speed and ice coverage that we've seen from other teams. So their components,
they did an excellent job in the rhythm dance, the best that they could do, and this was a little bit weaker, but 66.95 for the free dance. That is 6th. The total competition score of 112.74, and that'll put them for the moment into 5th place. And there is a look at your top 5 teams so far in this event. There are 2 more groups to come. 10 teams.
Close to 112 and to 115. Weesh. Ay caramba.
Ay caramba. Okay. We're going to take a look at the results so far in this event as we prepare for the ice resurfacing. Mark, what do we have lined up on the video playback?
Chance to listen into the interview of the winners in Riga, Canada's Leila Villon and Alexander Brandis, and then to the Figure Skating Basics series that we conducted last year, where we discussed pairs versus ice dance with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek attempt at comedy from this motley crew.
Well, we hope you enjoyed those videos. As we take a short break during the ice resurfacing, we'll be back with the final 2 groups on day 2 here.
So Leila and Alex, huge congratulations. You are gold medalists. Now you are coming into this Junior Grand Prix season in, I think, your 4th season on the Junior Grand Prix. You've had a bronze medal before, but what were your ambitions and goals for this season?
I just want to be bold, very much out there. Want to prove that like we deserve this. We deserve like to be.
At the top.
The top. Yeah.
Coming into this year, like Alex said, that was a main focus for us, and we really had a lot of like passion towards our programs and everything coming into this year, especially after last year. We knew what we needed to improve on, and being able to be here and just get that one step further has felt amazing. We're really proud of ourselves.
And rightly so. You both looked incredible. I particularly loved your free dance. Now, it's an amazing achievement, not just to win gold here, but to have had a partnership that is already 11 years old. You guys have been skating together. I mean, you're not old enough to be skating together for 11 years. So what, though, is the main goal? How many more years are you guys going to skate together? Is there any ambition there?
Until I get tired of her. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We get told we're like an old married couple because we're definitely like brother sister also.
Yeah.
But obviously the big goal is the Olympics one day, and however many years that takes, we're in it and we're ready.
Ah, happy days. Now, we were joking earlier on with your coach, Cara Moyer, who's here and supported you here, about how you've put up with Mr. Scott Moyer. I thought that was comical. But you've got an amazing, illustrious coaching staff. How much do they inspire you guys?
Oh, greatly. Like, they're the reason why I want to keep skating. I want to keep improving. They bring really great energy every day at the rink.
Every single day, they inspire us, like Alex said. We can't imagine training anywhere else, honestly. We love all of our coaches. They bring all such a different aspect and different ideas. Like the creativity is just insane, and the care for their athletes. And we absolutely love it.
Oh, that's incredible. So gold here in Riga. Where's the next stop for you guys on the Junior Grand Prix?
We dance Poland.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the very best, and thank you for the brilliant skating here.
Thank you.
Welcome to the basics, the difference between ice dancing and pair skating. Now, I was a pair skater. Big, long elements, dynamic, risky, that lifts above the head all the way down the ice. It's pretty incredible stuff. You throw or assist the lady across the ice. Amazing discipline.
Yes, you can almost tell the ice dancers when they walk into the venue. I did ice dance and we tend to be much more dramatic and expressive, and the ice dancers will try to seamlessly weave their elements into the choreography with perhaps a greater focus upon the aesthetic and the storytelling of the performance than the pair skaters.
Also, in ice dance, skaters must maintain dance hold, and should they separate, they cannot be for more than 2 arms lengths apart. This rule adds an interesting layer of challenge. It's fascinating to see how the ice dancers skillfully maneuver through complex elements while maintaining such close contact.
And one of the interesting things about pair skating, the men will use a thing called firm grip, which is essentially kind of a glue that goes on their hands to ensure that the grips between the woman and the man stay firm, because it's very, very dangerous in a death spiral or in a lift if those hands slip. So that's important. Do you use firm grip?
No, the ice dancers don't use firm grip, and the difficulty, the complexity and the risk of the pair's elements will not just dictate the grip that's needed between the partners, but also even down to the costume, whereas the ice dancers will be as elaborate as they possibly can in their costuming, and that is the first way in which to differentiate pair skater and ice dancer.
But don't let the beauty of ice dancing fool you in that it's not difficult. It's incredibly difficult to perform at that level, to have their difficult lifts and their difficult elements, both disciplines, spectacular. Welcome back, everyone, to Varese, Italy. The final event on day number 2 here on week number 3 of the Junior Grand Prix. I'm Ted Bart, along with Mark Hanratty. We've been enjoying skating all day, 36 women in the short program, and here we have 20 teams. We're looking at the last 10 teams, the first group of 5 here, the final 2 groups. Mark, and I know you've got the questions ready to go. Now, get right to the question.
Okay. Do you think 3 components are effective, or should we go back to 4 or 5, 1 or 2 even?
Well, it's really interesting because having been involved in the development of the system early on, after 2002, 5 components were brought in for a very good reason. The detail in which they wanted to have the sport analyzed based on specific criteria. It went down to 3 because it was complicated for people who were not experts in either music or composition or all those judges, okay? They were all good at judging skating over with the 6.0 system, but the complication of the details, some people could do it because they had the training to do it, but not all could do it. So they went down to 3 to try to make it simplified, yet still retain the meaning of the program components and the criteria in that. So to me, it depends on the ability and the willingness of the people who are on the panel to understand and be able to articulate and represent what that criteria is. And if they can't with 5 components, then you're probably better with 3. But I can't answer that question. I'm only giving you a little bit of history and background as to why they did it. You know, the other people would probably have a different or a better answer. Right?
One of the things that I was led to believe when the system changed from having the 5 components to the 3 was to offer the judges more time to really give analysis of less, because in this space of time they have a couple of minutes following the performance to analyze.
Yes, but if you know it well enough, you didn't need that time. That's the point. And that you're saying the same thing I am. It's not to put the judges down. It's a very difficult job they do. They have so much criteria they have to be aware of. They have how many marks per person? It's ridiculous because you've got 11 technical elements in the program, plus you've got the 5 components to consider. How do you do that in a minute and a half or 2 minutes that you have to score?
It's a lot.
I mean, it's not against them. It's just humanly impossible to analyze the detail of that. So that's my personal belief. I'm not speaking on behalf of the ISU.
No,
I'm not speaking
no.
on behalf. That's my personal belief, having been involved enough with that. So I think that they are trying to find a way that the judging panel and the technical panel can work together to more deeply and accurately assess what's going on. So, yeah.
And one of the things for me, Ted, actually something that I get quite passionate about in regards to those program component scores, which last week some suggested they might like a little bit more detail on, because we speak a lot about the technical aspects. For me, with the program components, I have noticed when I'm coaching that the components stay very close in their scoring. So the skaters are given a mark. For those that don't know, the skaters at the end of the performance are given a mark, whether it's pairs or ice dance or singles, in their skating skills, in presentation and in composition. Previously it was 5 different components, now it's down to 3. And one of my awarenesses is that the components often hook upon the skating skills, and I noticed from lots of study that if a skater was to say get a 5 in their skating skills, the other components would not deviate rapidly or vastly from that one. Now, I understand that in the fairness of the system, there's an OAC, the Official Assessments Commission,
who are now on site. Yes, go ahead.
To try to make sure that the judges are kept, ensuring that the judges are the highest caliber and the most professionalism, and to make sure that there are no naughty behaviors.
Okay.
Now, but that said, one of the factors in trying to make sure that the judges are all singing from the same hymn sheet is that if there are big deviations in the scores, that will flag up in the system and it has to be acknowledged.
There is a process by which the which analyzes data and has a range, etc. And that's probably you know, for another day to have a condensed version to articulate the OAC and the evaluation of the judges. There is a very strict and a very formatted process for the evaluation of the judging panel and the technical panel as well. So don't think it doesn't go.
Oh gosh.
It's under scrutiny all the time. So, and it's very good. And I know they'll make improvements in moving forward. So, suffice to say for the moment, in the limited time that we have, the process is there, and but there's a lot for judges to do. And so the question is, how do they split it up to be more accurate and all the small detail? Okay, we've got to move on here.
I could talk about it for hours.
I know, and that's why I'm happy to move on. Right? Okay, here we go. Wait a second, I got to change this up here. Our next team represents Spain. Both are 19 years old, Laura Sundberg and Hector Gonzalez Elvira.
And great to hear the support for this Spanish team of Lara and Hector, who will perform to Maddest Kind of Love and Mr. Pinstripe Suit. Lara Sundberg and Hector Gonzalez Elvira representing Spain. And that choreographic hydroglide move was amazing.
Yeah, we were talking off air during the performance. We're going, I don't think the team necessarily. I think the vehicle's great. I think the effort of the choreography is great. I think the execution at the stage of the year is just obviously a little sloppier than they're going to want to have it, and that'll only get better in time. But I think it's the right vehicle, but they got to grow into it.
And I think Lara and Hector individually are both the best skaters that we've seen thus far in the competition for sure. Their skating skills, their depth of edge, their flow, their glide, inherently they're the best skaters. They're just a newer team that are a little bit push and pull.
Yeah, they just maybe didn't skate their best today, but they've certainly got, they got the piece to work with, that's for sure.
That clarity. This was so cool as well. The unique, difficult entry into the curve lift. That reminiscent of Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier, I think, at this juncture. As you see that 1 foot exit. There, the straight line lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, hand movement trying to push the grade of execution, ensure that it is musically appropriate. This, where things started to go a little awry. As the right forward outside twizzle just
close in there.
Oh,
and just touch, yeah.
And here's so close. And that's where, this team could be going for excellence by trying to stay incredibly close to boost the GOE, but then that comes with the risk of a negative GOE. Like, who comes up with that? That's so cool. I've not seen that before. I don't know if...
Well, I've seen the move, but not with the 1 foot.
Well, not with... Yeah, it's like the car in the shows, but
exactly,
taking a concept and making it your own. Choreographic hydroblading movement, a low movement with the upper body almost parallel to the ice. You don't see that choreographic choice very often.
No. It's interesting. It's a good team. It's a young, in their development stages, young looking, good team.
Yeah,
right?
And they've got like character and energy. I mean, even silly things like their ISU biography has hobbies collecting everything related to ducks. Like these
Ducks?
are fun. Yeah,
Ducks?
like, they're comical characters.
Well, it's hilarious. Okay.
That was Hector, by the way, not.
Yeah. Okay. Good clarification. 71.19 for Laura and Hector. That's third in the free dance with a total competition score of 120.10, and that'll put them for the moment into second place. They're fun. Lots of work to do. But they're fun. And they got a good program. Our next team represents Austria, 18 and 21 years of age. Anita and Andreas Straub.
And already performing, already storytelling for the brother and sister pairing. And they skating to the wonderful Jan Tiersen track, Amelie. Anita Straub and brother Andreas Straub. Second sibling pairing I think that we've seen in this event. So much experience already as juniors. And for me, just the transformation from when we first saw them on the Junior Grand Prix, the clarity and increased quality of their skating skills. And I think so much of that goes to Coach Galina Chirolova, who we could see actually watching with the coach was elongating her neckline and extending her posture, and you can see her influence on the body awareness that this team has. They have become so much more refined.
I think this is one of their best performances. I think, you know, the rhythm dance was okay, but it was what we call their bailiwick.
Okay.
Okay, does that work for you, bailiwick? You don't know what that means?
No.
Good. Okay. So, no, it was in their zone. They were comfortable with it.
And a great vehicle for, you know, the brother and sibling pairings, of which there are many. It's sometimes hard to find the right vehicle for that. And I think this is, you know, it's beautiful music, and it's beautifully choreographed for the team. And actually, to be fair, they resonate a really good connection as siblings. They do seem friendlier than some.
Well, you don't
pairings.
actually think of them as siblings.
No, which
you
is
know?
testament to the performance.
Exactly.
Just looking through this, the Group C feature. A nice inverted Ina bar after, as we see the end of the stationary lift. And this upside down in difficult position, straight line lift. And now the question is really for Anita and Andreas is what more can be done? What, you know, they train with last week's winners, originality, creativity. That's definitely going to enhance their chances. But can they now start to create the increased speed and flow that Irina Pergina and Artem Koval, the winners last week, have? How can they now take this brilliant program, well packaged?
Well, you have to push closer to the edge of disaster. In order to get that speed and that aggressiveness, you have to come so close, and you may hit disaster periodically. But if you're so far away from disaster, then you're ordinary.
Yeah.
And
it looks now very contained and clean and crisp and technically very tidy. Now, just put the engine up a bit.
but good job. Nice program. 79.01. That is first in the free dance for Anita and Andres. Total competition score 130.87 as they take the lead, at least at this point.
I wonder what the teddy bear is, who they're from.
Yeah. Sure is Teddy Bird, pretty skinny. Here we go. Our next team represents Germany. Aniko and Zorad, both 16 years old. They're twins. They were fourth in junior at the German Nationals.
Yeah, second twin pairing of this event. Skating to music that we know that you love too, Ted. The Skyboat song.
Sing me a song, the last that is gone. Say, could that last be I? Mary of soul, she sailed on a day over the sea to sky. Billow and breeze, islands and seas, mountains of rain, sun.
Eniko Kobar and Zoad Kobar complete their free dance, and of course, for me, he's a Scotsman. There's so much appreciation
Love
for
it.
this, the concept, the theme, unique.
That opening music, you said the word haunting is true, and it's the theme of the Outlander series, and which I love. And just listening to that piece of music, I don't know, it's peaceful.
Yeah.
It's haunting, it's beautiful, and I think they did a good job. The rest of it, got a little bit, sloppy later in the program, but some really good parts as well.
Yeah, hard for Eniko not to carry the mistake in the twizzles through to the rest of the performance. So here you can see she is so clean and clear in her presentation. And actually, I thought this was a really difficult choice of 1 foot turns, choosing to rotate in the clockwise direction. Yeah, really well done. Here, the twizzles all looking good at this point. 4, she did 5. Only 4 necessary for level 4, 2, 3. Oh, and then so it looked like she did. I need to check that again. If I was on the panel, I'd have to check that again. It looked like she did 1 too many in the first and 1 too few in the second, but I'd have to check that again. This is great. I love this the first time we saw it in Riga, but great choreo by Robin Tweedale, part of the coaching staff as well. This is indicative of what it should be as per the theme that they've gone for. Good case study.
I think it's a great vehicle for them. It really is.
And I mean, we've just discussed with the Austrian team before, finding vehicles that are optimal for a sibling pairing. And that Kaylee dance movement, great for Eniko and Zoar. As Stefano Caruso joins them. I need to check out what the pin is on his case. And I need to check what the tie today is for Stefano. It seems to be a recurring theme for him to have ties of character.
You got too much to check out here. The tie and the pin. Whoa.
This team, though, has made seismic improvement, I feel, this past season. They were 16th in Ljubljana and Slovenia last year. Top 10 in Riga. And obviously they come into the free dance here in 8th place. They would need 78.22 to maintain that position, which would be a new ISU personal best if they're to achieve it. But you can just see Eniko just looking frustrated, knowing the impact of... Actually, it looks though like the twizzles, she must have done 4 rotations on both twizzles, because she's had a level 4 and you need 4 rotations on both twizzles to do that. So must have done 4 on the second twizzle. So it's just a grade of execution situation on that element rather than a level drop.
Personal best 76.37. And we'll see same for their season's best. Let's see what this draws out. New season's best 76.93. That'll put them second in the free dance with a 129.59 for Eniko and Zorad. That'll put them second for the moment overall. Our next team represents France. Both are 18 years old. Amber Perrier-Giacchini and Samuel Blanc-Klapperman. And they were the champions of the Winter Youth Olympic Games 2024.
And it looks like they had the second highest program component scores in the rhythm dance, but a fall finds them in this low position, hoping to accelerate up the standings with their free dance.
Mark, you talked a little earlier about, well, the question was, what makes great teams? Now, this is not a great team yet. This is a very good team, but clearly, compared to the rest of the field at this point, it's the basic skating skills.
Yeah.
It's the defined and clear and clean positions in the speed across the ice. This was really well done. They had a tough time in their rhythm, but not on this.
Yeah, you're so right. The skating skills dictate so much, and the depth of edge, the length of the glide, the way in which their blade runs effortlessly, and that the reason why I assumed that they would be favourites coming into this event. Mistakes made in the rhythm dance obviously cost them the position they have coming into the free dance. However, the judges still recognised their skating skills. They were the second highest, even with the mistakes. So it was a costly day at the office in the rhythm dance. But what was wonderful about this free dance is not just the fundamental quality that they have in the way that they move, but also some originality and creativity within aspects such as this, constantly moving through that straight line lift.
That's so difficult to maintain his balance solid as she's moving and rolling around in the shoulders.
And that should justify a really good creative execution. And here you can just see the commitment to the concept of the Tarzan, the legend of Tarzan. That too, unique and original in its movement. And I love this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So here they have the arm above the head as a feature, Group B feature, the leg extended as a leg feature. Just let's see what happens. So the arms being extended in front of the body is a feature. She had to break that, so she potentially loses that feature, and then of course there were ramifications on the back of it. So creative execution on the twizzle. Creative execution on the twizzles will be lower. Just gotta check though what we've seen from Bedgena and Koval and the winners in Riga as well in terms of scores. So Leila Villon, Alexander Brandis had a 97.67. Ambra and Samuel, I think, are capable, if not with that performance because of a little mistake.
Yeah.
They're definitely now.
They're in that range for sure.
Well, that's not to say that they're going to win this and be like Leila and Alexander or Irina and Artem, but certainly in the future with a clean skate.
Well, we saw tonight who they are.
Yeah.
Who they really were. We didn't see that in the rhythm dance, but we saw that tonight, very clear. And, good recovery from a mistake in the rhythm dance. It's a long season. You can't be at your best early on or maintain that through the whole season. It's hard. So, well done. Let's take a look at the scores for Amber and Samuel. A 94 points, and all of them in the kiss and cry going, that's good, that's good. First of the free dance with a 147.18. Total competition score, redemption on this day. Nice job.
Oh, no, she wants him to make the shape the heart. Oh,
Yeah, he's going thumbs up. Okay, come on, they got to coordinate it on that. Okay, our next team represents Germany, 18-year-old Alexia Crook and 20-year-old Jan Heisenhaber, second Junior Grand Prix season, Germany's junior silver medalists.
Alexia and Jan skating to We All Fall in Love and Fix You.
Wise men say, looks like rain today, crackled on the speakers, trickled down the sleepy subway trains. We all fall in love sometimes. When you get what you want, but not what you need. When you feel so tired, but you can't sleep. Stuck in reverse. Lights will guide you home. And ignite your bones. I will try to fix you. Lights will guide you home, and I will try to fix you.
"18-year-old Alexia Kruk and 20-year-old Jan Eisenhower share a hug and an embrace, a team that are so committed to acceleration up the international standings this season. As I said, in the rhythm bands, they travelled to the Lake Placid International Ice Dance Competition in the off-season, made sure they were ready earlier than ever in order to showcase the best chances of moving up and becoming Junior World Championship competitors.
Well, I think they're going to beat their personal best score, 76.98, by quite a bit here. Solid performance, and you start to see the skating skills stabilize these performances to a high degree. You can see clearly the difference between some of the teams that were earlier on.
Yeah, absolutely. Skating skills count for so much, and you know the coaches here knowing that, and the team being more cemented as a partnership, having had more seasons together, so they can be more united in their fundamental technique and unity of technique as we look at the twizzles. So that will be reviewed potentially just for the Group B feature, see if the legs are at the right height. But even there, you can see in the way in which Jan and Alexia hold their bodies, you can see they've been taught by the same coaches and working together because they're synonymous in their movement. So I can't hear Stefan, I can't hear what he's saying, but I now know that his ties are always Beatles song-themed ties.
He's pointing at the pin, too.
He said, and Robin, fellow coach, says no idea what the song is today, but help was yesterday. Spotted that, and he's got his German eagled pin badge that he points to.
Okay,
love that.
That's over research there, Mark.
Well, again, great to hear that
the ties. Are we going to the belt soon? Or like
well, great to hear that we've got you know, coaches listening in and helping us with the intel.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Fun.
So I haven't checked, actually. I know that the ISU personal best for Alexia and Jan is listed as 76.98 because that comes from a Junior Grand Prix assignment. When they competed at Lake Placid, that's not gone onto their ISU biography as a score, so I need to check back what they achieved there. They did achieve a podium placement at that, which is pretty seismic, going, you know, competing in North America, which is a hotbed of so many great teams. So that was a fantastic result for these skaters. So I presume that they'll be expecting something significantly higher from that 76.98. Will it be enough to satisfy them? We will see.
Well, yeah, and where does that put them in this? We have 5 teams yet to come. Are they going to be close to the podium?
And that in itself, Ted, having been 14th and 11th in the Junior Grand Prix, that last year, they come in now in 6th. It showcases the improvements they've made.
For sure. Absolutely. Let's take a look at the scores. 83.12 for the free dance. That is second. With a total competition score of 136.75, and they look pretty happy with that. It'll put them into second place overall with 5 teams yet to skate.
And they're actually less than half a point behind those above them, so movement in the dance rankings potentially.
Wow, that's news. Breaking news.
Yes.
Here we go. Warm up for the final group of 20 teams as they take to the ice. The top 5 teams, they'll skate in reverse order, of course. The team ranked 5th, then 4th, then 3rd, then 2nd, then 1st. They'll be battling for medals, but more importantly for those points that they'll need to qualify for the Junior Grand Prix final.
It's 5 to 10 in the evening, and that in itself is testament to how these young skaters are having to peak at a time of night when they wouldn't necessarily train. Everybody's got different training times, but it's a whole new experience, and that is, as we so often refer to, perhaps more so in the singles, about the experience that the Junior Grand Prix offers these athletes. Just the concept of competing at this time of night.
Well, I think the adrenaline just pushes them out. They know, they're in the final group here. They're in a international competition. So I think whatever the time zone is, somehow that adrenaline is, overriding it. So,
yeah, too true. In fact, perhaps it's a good time of night. The adrenaline, perhaps on occasion, we know that can be too great for some of the skaters because the adrenaline affects their timing, whereas maybe adrenaline's there. This is a little bit less.
This will even it out. We'll see.
We have had more questions coming in, Ted, and I've got to shorten this one a little bit, but from Mike Burgess, because we know I can go on too long. Yeah. The question essentially is how compatible the scores are from juniors to seniors, and are the technical elements and the component marks scored in the same way? And this question may have come in, I'm not sure it came into my own social media, I think it came in during the women's event, but pertaining to this ice dance competition, and indeed the singles too, component scores for juniors and seniors are marked in entirely the same way. So the skating skills criteria and the component scores for that, utterly the same, whether it be for the world champions, Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, or the first team to compete in this event, Elizaveta Lisova and Jakub Janicki. It's entirely the same criteria, and this system is a universal system, and such any skater at any level of competition globally has a concept for where they rank. So if you're a beginner skater in Liechtenstein and you're competing, your components out of 10 are likely to be much lower, maybe in the 1s and 2s, depending upon the technique that they have. But that would be 1s and 2s should they be competing at the World Championships up against the world champions who would be getting 9s and maybe 10s. So yes, component scores the same. In addition, because the question was posed during the single skating event, the criteria for components is entirely the same for single skaters, ice dancers, and synchronized skaters, and pair skaters. So across all facets of the sport, those component marks are viewed in the same way. And then when it comes to the technical element score, also same criteria. So the same levels are assigned. So as we watch the Italian team on screen now, the criteria for the levels for these twizzles are the same as that which will be the case for the seniors, as we see Elena Novak, Barbara Fusarpoli and Pasquale Carmalengo ringside, an illustrious coaching staff on the boards. But the criteria are the exact same for the level assigned to all of the elements, as is the grade of execution. And in terms of the comparison, how compatible the scores are between juniors and seniors, I think the junior world record score in ice dance, I think it's about 108. Without checking, it was Mrazkova Mrazek, the Czech team, the brother and sister pairing who won Junior World Championships a couple of years ago. Off the top of my head, I do believe they're the junior world record holders, whereas the world record in seniors from Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, again, I'd have to check, Ted, but I think it's 130 something. So that just gives you a concept, and I can stat check and give you an exact idea. But generally, the best juniors, if we talk about component scores, they're in the high 7s and 8s. The seniors in the high 9s, closing in on the 10s.
Yeah, and the gap between juniors and seniors, when the excellent juniors do move up, they're kind of in the middle of the pack at best, or maybe a little bit higher at that top level, because the level of the top seniors is so extreme. It's impossible to do that in such a short period of time, to be at that level.
Yeah, and I mean, when we think about the Senior World Championships, if I bring the results up in the stats, so many of the seniors now competing at at this stage have been together for decades and longer. And so thus the quality that they possess is so established that the junior teams, whilst they might have the potential and the quality, they don't have the time together simply to push those high components.
No, and there's more space between elements. There's less detail in a junior program at that level. I mean, a lot for what we're watching, but you know, when you compare it with the seniors, you'd clearly see the difference.
So just to give a bit of concept, the Mrazkov and Mrazek pairing that I mentioned as junior world champions in 2023, who I believe have their junior world record score, they finished in 12th place 2 years later at the senior world championships.
Yeah, and which is good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, well done. You filled the gap.
The last gap of the day.
Yes.
I'll squeeze some words in anywhere though.
Yeah, I know. Well, I have the button, so I can control you pretty well. Our next team represents Czechia. 19-year-old Diane Schneider and 18-year-old Jakým Novak.
Diane and Jakým find themselves in the top group for the free dance after just partnering together in September. So a year since this partnership was formed and already showcasing great success. Czechia's Diane Schneider and Joachim Novak, and they look spent, utterly exhausted, because they were so giving to every fibre of their being right to the final element, the rotational lift. And I don't think that's actually any reflection of their preparation. I'm sure they were very well trained. I think they were just passionately committed to exuding as much performance as they could.
Leaving no stone unturned and making sure that they brought every ounce of energy to the ice.
Yeah, completely. Oh, how good. Joachim there, just making sure nothing left on the ice for the Canadian team that will take to the ice just after them. And I've got to say, Ted, I know I said it off air, but when I was researching for this team, they posted some amazing clips on their social media of outdoor skating, and they both look incredible outdoors and amazing setting. I'm very envious.
Well, you have time now to do it.
Yes, maybe so. Not as well as these guys did.
No.
So here, a look at the twizzles. Great just seeing in that slow-mo. Now at this point in the competition, it becomes creative execution. That how many positive features or how many negative features are showcased here. So various different criteria for the judges. Obviously unison being the most visibly obvious. This was amazing. She wasn't high enough. She needs to, from a comfort point of view, to be able to hold and sustain the feature, she needs to be in the crevice of his hip to anchor the blade, and it looked like she felt she was too low and she had to readjust. As we look at the choreo character step. Actually, the curve lift just coming in at a level 3, a slight negative creative execution, so the judges spied that little replace of the standing leg.
That was amazing quickness into that lift, and he's a very strong lift and good turns.
Yeah, and you can see there from Diane connecting, holding his face, just doing all they can to showcase the storytelling as Matej Novak joins them and finds a picture in the kiss and cry. Oh, look, they're well synced.
Yeah,
they
that's
were
good.
On
Well,
point. Timing was good for their heart.
They've been working on that.
Yeah, good work. So this team competed in Dordrecht. They actually won that event against many of the other teams that are here.
76.96, that's fourth in the free dance with a total competition score of 130.92. That might be a little disappointing for them. That puts them overall into third place at the moment. Our next team are both 18 years old. Representing Canada, Summer Hummock and Nicholas Bulow.
I love the musicality of this team's rhythm dance, so enjoyable. And from what I saw of this free dance in practice this morning, I think we'll be treated again a real quality piece of choreography.
I say it with my eyes. I say it with my touch. I say it with my heart. I love you.
I don't know if we agree or not, Ted, on it, but for me, Summer Hommick and Nicholas Bülow, it moves me. The music, I think, is emotional. The connection between the couple, emotional. The storytelling. I'm saying to the team here, is Patrick Swayze in The Ghost? Because he's giving me Patrick Swayze vibes. Like, I am sold on the story and the... I bought into what I was just showcased, and there were some wonderfully intricate nuances of choreography, interspersing some actually very simple transitions which were appropriate to the music.
No, listen, this is a perfect piece of music for them. They look the couple.
Oh,
They
gorgeous.
feel the couple. There's certainly some refinement to do.
Yeah.
Particularly perhaps in Nicholas's posture a little bit
Yeah.
in just some areas. But this is, I think, really well designed for this team at this stage of their development. And it'll only get better as the year progresses.
And actually, it's interesting that you mentioned it, because for me, I normally feel like I'm a sucker for good skating skills and like body alignment. But I just bought into the love story, so I kind of forgot all the skating skills, which is why I am not a judge, because I can't multitask and think of 3 different components at the same time.
Yeah, you'd be going, oh, that's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. Give them all the 10s.
Yeah.
And what I loved... Oh, actually, I wonder if you'll see this Choctaw. Look at this back Choctaw. Oh, yeah. Nice cleanliness of edge somewhere. And somewhere so new to the sport. She was pair skated until so recently. But it's things like that, the difficult connection and transitional content.
Well, Shailene Bourne was a pair skater.
Oh, was she?
Victor
Why did I
Kratz.
not know
Yeah,
that?
Absolutely. Well, I don't know. You can't know everything.
Oh, dear. I love that, the use of the head and the neckline. It's subtle things that just add development. The spread eagle to facilitate the difficult turn.
I think this was really the right vehicle for this team at this stage, and it brought them as a partnership, or as a couple on the ice.
Yeah.
Really close. That was beautiful. Twizzle's nice held outside edge at the exit of that first set.
You can see, I suppose, when now that I'm trying to see beyond the storytelling, the love story, there's a difference in their leg alignment a little bit. Still, as a team, as you rightly point out, still the synonymity in their skating skills will need to be honed and refined, of course, as is the case for all teams.
Yeah, and that's not being critical. That's just being analytical
Yeah.
as to where they're at this moment. That's beautiful. Stationary lift at the end, and there's that inside death spiral.
Which was exploiting Summer's pairs experience and making for a unique choreographic slide to close out the program.
Certainly was not a problem for her. Really
It
well
was probably
done.
a lot easier without having to do the back pivot from here.
Yeah, no kidding, yeah. That was great. There's Mitch Islam, and does such a great job with this team's. Let's take a look at the scores. It's an 86.66. That is second in the free dance. The total competition score of 143.56. That'll put them second with 3 teams to come, so chances of a podium might be slipping away. Our next team represents the United States of America, 16-year-old Annalise Steppert and 17-year-old Maxime Korotkov. U.S. national in junior, they were 7th. So this is a new experience.
5th last week, but in medal position after the first portion of the competition in Varese.
There was a time love was blind and the world was a song, and the song was exciting. There was a time then it all went wrong. I dreamed a dream in time gone by, and hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. But the tigers come at night with their voices soft as thunder as they turn your dream to shame.
Do you just love ice dance? Because you can go from the Ghost soundtrack to then Les Mis, Les Miserables. And
then we're at a variety show. I love it. It's awesome.
And for Annalise Steppert and Maxime Korotkov giving all the rousing passion necessary for Les Mis. It's just a great vehicle because of the variation which the music offers. It's, I mean, you pick masterful music, it lends itself as a framework for a masterful program. And they had an 83.51 last week. Now that would drop them down 2 places if they were to achieve the same as last week. However, the rhythm dance secured more than it did in Ankara, and now they just appear to have the increased confidence from that strong debut in Turkey, and that will transcend into the components and perhaps just a little bit more conviction to the elements into the grades of executions as well.
It's amazing. We've talked about this. Sometimes off the ice, a team like this, they're quite, I don't know, shy, but they seem to be, young and new and a little bit shy, but on the ice, they're powerful.
Yeah.
They bring it.
It's so interesting, and actually now this is where I really I normally feel like I've got such a grasp of what component scores I would give the skaters, but it's been a long day. It's hard for the judges now. How do you make comparison between the skating skills, the presentation, and the composition? The French team of Ambre and Samuel, that to me is clearly still significantly ahead of the others thus far, but now differentiating these North American teams, and it looks like in order for them to stay ahead of Homik and Bülow, they will need 85.8. And what I'm seeing currently on the screen from the feedback of the tech panel and the judges as Elena joins them is very, very close to that. And it's ever moving, constantly moving.
Wow. That is ever so close.
But kudos to them and coach and choreographer Elena.
Yeah. They look pretty happy with that performance. And it's been 2 weeks of experience. This is invaluable experience. It's experience today, and they're going to want the scores, whatever it is, the result. But this is adding to their long-term journey because they're learning how to compete back-to-back competitions at pretty high level.
And I mean, already as we said in the rhythm dance, so much life lesson and so much for the parents to be incredibly proud of. Now they were, as I say, 5th last week, but they're coming in 3rd place now. Their personal best is an 83.51. So there's a whole lot of factors. Are they going to define this result based on their ranking or their score?
We're going to hear it right now. Season's best 84.91. Now that's 3rd in the free dance. Total competition score 142.68. So that is 3rd.
You could see there, I think, from Annalise, it was like, oh, PB, good. Oh, we dropped a place.
Yeah, they've dropped 1 place, ever so close. Homik and Bülow from Canada still now in 2nd place, but 2 teams yet to come. And they need to beat one of them to be on the podium, and that's going to be hard. Our next team represents Italy, Arianna Soldati and Nicholas Tagliabue.
And we saw Arianna's older sister competing beautifully in the singles competition in the women's singles earlier today. Now the family have some more stress to go through as they anxiously wait the performance of this.
Diamonds are forever. Hold one up and then caress it. Touch it, stroke it, and undress it. I can see every part. Nothing hides in their heart to hurt me.
Ariana Soldati and Nicholas Taliabue representing Italy, sharing a hug. And their choreographer, Lucas Joly, wanted something energetic and bold music to try something different from what they've already done. So the concept was the story of thieves. And whilst the choreography was great, I also have to give a shout out to whoever did the music edit, because that really was showcasing the theme that they were going for as to the choreography.
Yeah, you got the story. It was like a mini movie, a silent movie. Well, not really. I guess there was music, but no speaking.
And interesting, I found out, I think, through the night that Nicholas's mum was a short track skater and father an ice dancer. So,
wow, ice is in the family.
Yeah. But great to see this team now out on the Junior Grand Prix. And as I mentioned, they have had international experience, but not on the JGP. That was a good inside rocker from him, I think, as they worked through the difficult turns, maintaining flow here at this point. Perhaps the flow and the glide just started to diminish laterally through the program as we look at choreographic spinning movements. So this choreographic element with a fixed base value of 1.1 points, but they added with the grade of execution. Great expression from Ariana through the straight line lift, and then combining that with the rotational lift. So Ted, Ariana and Nicholas have had an 83.82. It's not on their ISU biography, but they achieved that at the NRW trophy. Here, the Twizzles had issues. The separation here, forcing the judges to go down on the grade of execution. How costly will aspects like that be for this team? Remembering that Ombre and Samuel, who I kind of tipped to win this event, are now rocketing up the standings, but they'll be keen to stay ahead of the others also, and they'll need... Oh my goodness, this competition is ridiculously close.
It is, it is. When you see these numbers, you're going, really?
So, in order to stay on the podium, assuming that those left to come will still be there, you need an 85.25. There's Barbara Fusser-Poli, who's quite literally an icon in the ice dance lower. And she has been with this team for years.
And nice for them to have her here.
Yes, yes, and she'll be obviously so busy in working with Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri, the Italian champions who aspire to great success at the Olympic Games in the home country in Milano Cortina later in the year.
Nothing like that in a lifetime
No.
to compete at home in Olympic Games. Let's take a look at the scores for Ariana and Nicholas for 84.57. Now that's fourth in the free dance. Wow. Total competition score, though, 142.89. And that will put them into third place with one team to come. So that puts the Canadian team on the podium. Wow.
Oh gosh, and the problem is now everybody's going to reconsider every aspect of the program to see where could have got a bit more.
Well, there was a little, bobble, so was that it? I'm not sure. Our final team is in the lead after the rhythm dance. Jasmine Robertson and Chase Roner from the United States, 16 and 17 years of age.
And now Jasmine and Chase with a comfortable lead after the rhythm dance, hoping to take a spot at the Junior Grand Prix final, and certainly winning here will certainly make that more likely as they skate to Notre Dame de Paris.
C'est une histoire qui a pour lieu Paris la belle au nom de Dieu 1482 Histoire d'amour et de désir Les artistes anonymes De la sculpture ou de la rime Tenteront de vous la transcrire Pour les siècles à venir Il est venu le temps des cathédrales Le monde est entré Dans un nouveau millénaire L'homme a voulu monter vers les étoiles Écrire son histoire Dans le verre ou dans la pierre Les amis, les gargouilles qui veillent sur toi te protégeront de tous les imbéciles. Quand tu auras besoin d'un abri, tu n'auras qu'à venir demander ma chanson, mon cri, ma raison, ma folie, ma passion, mon pays, ma prison, ma patrie.
Tes amis les gargouilles sont aussi mes amis. C'est elles qui me font rire le jour quand je m'ennuie.
Dans ma maison à moi, il y fait toujours beau. L'hiver il fait moins froid, l'été il fait moins chaud. Tu viendras quand tu veux, quelle que soit la saison. Ma maison si tu veux, ce sera ta maison.
Ce sera ma maison.
Qui est celui-là qui se cache là-bas? Ce monstre n'est-il pas celui qu'on élira? C'est lui qu'on élira, c'est lui qu'on élira. Le pape des
Well, Ted, I'm looking down at my notes and I've written that this team got together in May of this year, and it's scarcely credible that they're skating like this. And as we were watching that performance, both of us acknowledging just the confidence and the assurity, and they competed 2 weeks ago. You can't do a huge amount of training when you're traveling backwards and forwards in 2 weeks.
But I think that performance in week number 1 just gave them the confidence that they were on the right track, and then they pushed to the limit. I don't mean the limit to disaster, but they kept on growing in their movement and the choreography and the speed and the depth of edge. They weren't holding back, hoping. They were simply doing.
And I don't suppose they would have assumed that they would lead the field based on others. That was wonderful, that
Yeah,
split
great
shot
entry.
difficult entry. But they have taken perhaps what might have been a surprise lead by some margin and totally lived up to it with increased confidence. You know,
Oh,
you
yeah.
could have assumed they might have gone, oh, we're in the lead.
Yeah, how do we win this?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. They simply danced.
And I think what's interesting is that energetically they are different. Jasmine is very expressive, but Chase provides a real stability and framework for her to shine.
He does his job, she does hers, and they do theirs. I mean, it just works really nicely at this stage of their development, and from the base of what we're seeing, it's only going to get better.
Yeah. And actually, it'd be interesting to see how then this compares.
That's so cool.
Yeah, great part of the choreo character step, and there some more sliding for the second choreographic element, the choreographic slide. Be interesting to see how the score of this free dance compares to Ombre Perrier, Giannassini, and Samuel Blanc Clapperman, because I have to assume Jasmine and Chase will win because they had such a huge margin. But it'd be interesting for them to know if they're, leading the free dance section too.
Well, they're going to need an 85.12 to take the lead, and I think they're pretty clear on that.
Yeah, but the French team, Ombre and Samuel, had a 94 in the free dance, so I suppose that's another event within the event.
Yeah,
you know,
an event within event, exactly. But that's taking into consideration both programs here, what they need to take the lead.
Yeah. They look very calm,
Yeah,
don't they?
exactly. Well, we did our job. Let's see this one. Here we go. Season best, 94.44, and they look they look thrilled. That's first in the free dance with 156.52 as they take the title here and the trip on to Nagoya.
Yeah, we have to. Do we have to wait just to get
Where-
that confirmed?
where
They've got
are
now
they?
26 points, so they're.
Yeah, no, we probably have to wait to get that confirmed. So, no, yeah, we do. Yeah.
But it's looking good.
Yeah, it's looking good. They've done what they can.
Yeah. Oh, I've got to interview them now.
You do. Yeah, but just hold on.
Okay.
We got look at the final results. There we go. So we've got the Americans in first, the French team in second, and the Canadians move up into third place. They take the bronze, and there's a look at the rest of the field. Day 2 here, our final. We had 36 women in the short program. We got long free programs tomorrow. The free dance, that was a great event. A lot of fun here on day number 2. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We thank our production crew, all the local volunteers, the coaches, the parents, and the officials who spend the time away from home to officiate at these events. We thank you for watching. We hope you'll stay with us tomorrow for the final in the men's and the women's. For all of us here at the ISU, for Mark Canretti, I'm Ted Barton. Thank you for watching. You can stay online to see the medal presentation.
ISU Junior Grand Prix of Figure Skating, Varese 2025 Victory Ceremony, Junior Ice Dance. Third, and winners of the bronze medal, from Canada, Summer Homage and Nicholas Bulow. In second place, and winners of the silver medal, from France, Amber Perrier Genesini and Samuel Blanc Claperman. And in first place, and winners of the gold medal, from the United States of America, Jasmine Robertson and Chase Roner. Please welcome Ivana Peruzin, Vice Mayor of Varese, who will now award the medals. Please welcome Michele Di Toro, Councillor of the Region of Varese, who will now award the flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please stand for the national anthem of the winners. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your medalists.
It's not even 60 years old, our flag now? Or no, yeah, it's 60 years old, our flag. Oh, where's he from? Oh, okay, okay. So you know Canada then? Where are you from in the States?
So I'm currently in SF, lived in New York for a really long time, and I grew up in
Je l'avais caché.
Get rid of your flowers.
Aw, come on, Greg. No one ever buys me flowers.
Posso fare